This meeting is being recorded. Got it.
All right, it's 5:30. I'd like to call the October 20th, 2021 meeting for the Katuitt Fire District's Board of Water Commissioners to order. Our agenda items include public comment to start, review and approval of minutes, water quality reports, superintendent reports, old business, new business, additional public comment, and new meeting dates. And then we're going to go into an executive session to talk a little bit, real briefly, about the Katuitt Elementary School property. Tonight we have Office Manager Jen Nash, Superintendent Chris Wiseman, myself, Tom Hopkinson, Water Commissioner, Mark Robinson, Water Commissioner, and Scott Horsley, Water Commissioner.
Are we supposed to mic up like this?
Oh, maybe nobody can hear me. Did anybody hear me? Do I need to do that again? I think I'm fine too.
Lift it up.
So we'll start with the public comment. Is there any public comment at this point in time?
Does that have to be?
How is the mic? Like you can't hear it in here, but it must be fine.
Right, because audio would come through.
All right, so it must be okay over the Zoom.
Do we have to do the chat?
Just asked if everyone can hear us and
Okay.
if I get any feedback.
Any responses or?
Nothing so far.
Through.
They're all watching the Red Sox game.
Do you have to say that comments are gonna have to be in chat?
I put that in the chat as well.
Okay.
So yes, I'll reiterate that. If you can hear me, please, if you have any public comments, type those into the chat feature of your Zoom program. So I guess we have no public comments at this point, so we'll review and approve minutes from September 22nd, 2021.
I would move to approve the minutes. I have one minor edit next to the last paragraph. A mock-up of private irrigation and well signs was reviewed. English major edit. Other than that, I would say approved.
I see it. Typo.
Do we doctor pay for that? Making mistakes like that?
No, we pay her well, either way. Oh, we try.
Good.
I hope. Do we have a second? It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from September 22nd, 2021. All in favor? Aye. Unanimous. One slight change, typo, error, so noted.
Got it.
Okay, next item on the agenda is review and, nope, just did that, water quality report.
All right, all coliform bacterial samples came back negative in the month. We did do, as stated last month, we did send in our PFAS waiver for the first. We substituted our last, and they did accept it, so our next is definitely in January. So they did, I did get the letter with the new sample schedule while I was out last week. The disinfection products did come back. Everything was well within limits, very low. We're extremely low compared to some towns because we don't put a lot of chlorine in the water. And I had mentioned this a little before, but we did do this month our IOC samples, which include sodium in them. And so because we did that, we also did raw water samples for sodium. So we can compare the two to see if there's anything different between treated and raw. What's that?
So those samples, we don't have the results back yet.
No, they were just taken on Tuesday.
Okay.
I expect them back within 3 weeks.
Mr. Chairman, comment on that. We were talking earlier before the meeting started. And as I'll get you later in the agenda, the students and Bruce Young is going to be looking at all this water quality data and putting together this report. It would be really helpful if we can. Some of these numbers are treated water, sodium. And as Chris just mentioned, we're also doing some raw samples. We could just definitely make sure the data going forward explicit as to whether it's raw or treated. That would really help. I like the students, but think to us, I think you're probably right, Chris, it's a minor effect, but it's probably something. And it would just be nice to have that sorted out, so.
Excellent. Yeah. So that's the source water management plan.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. Any other questions? Water quality questions?
Well, so look at the soda results, Main Street, West Street, Santuit, tank. Would those be treated then, since they're in the tank?
Correct, yeah, they're blended and treated, that's finished water.
Okay.
We did have quite a increase, but we did have quite a decrease in pumping, so I don't know if it has something to do with the amount of water we're pumping. It could, because we did, if you do notice there, the prior 2 months, they were quite low compared to, could be what the station's pumping to at the time, and feeding more into each tank. There's a lot of factors there. One station might be lower than others, one might be higher. If Station 5 is running a lot, I believe Station 5 has high sodium in it, and that would feed Santuit tank more than any of the stations.
Great. Any other questions, comments? Move on to the superintendent's report.
All right. Superintendent's report read on October 20th for September of 2021. In September of 2020, we pumped 34,908,000 gallons of water. In September of 2021, did I say 2020 first?
You did.
Okay, was 21,934,000 gallons of water. So it's a difference of 12,974,000 gallons of water less. So we're right on our curve still. The last 3 months have been quite a lot less in water, I'd say, between the rain and our conservation efforts is starting to take effect. We did have one new service go in on Pickwick's Cove, one of the wells that we got a well and transferred over. And we had one replacement service on a house over on School Street to take it to it. We're officially back to normal in the drought situation. We have lifted our water restrictions, voluntary water restrictions, and we're back to normal right now. So we got that also last week while I was away. I went back to Farmwood, so had a little party and everything else. So
Nice.
we're good finally on the Cape.
That's good.
Last month, actually, it was actually the month before, but we were waiting pending results of JR's. They had taken the cross connection test for backflow prevention, and he did pass, and he has received his license now. And he's actually, today he was talking about scheduling some tests to be done for the fall. So he's right on it and doing a good job. It's just a little of the fire district itself. I don't know if you guys saw any of the fire commissioners meeting the other night. The fire chief has announced his retirement. And he's going to be moving on to, I believe, a different job, retirement in the fire service. Also, his assistant at the same time has gone out on medical and will be not coming back.
Oh, wow.
So the whole regime over there will change. Just so you guys know also.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something.
Also, I don't know if you saw the president's meeting. I guess there was a vote in the president's committee meeting to have all meetings hybrid, all committee meetings. There was a vote over there. I think the chairman brought it up, had a vote on it, and it passed, I believe. So I don't know how you guys feel, but it hasn't been the greatest results of the world. I don't know if we can try pushing it. You guys could give someone a call or something, just say, can we get somebody involved that might know what they're doing, especially if the chief's not going to be around too much. We got to do something a little better because it's really kind of not acceptable what's happening right now. And we either got to go one way or the other, or get a system here that will be able to handle both.
I did talk to Fran about that the other night during our school committee subcommittee meeting, and she didn't mention that they had taken any vote requiring us to be hybrid, and I pretty much said that it was my understanding that, or that I had heard that they were talking about that, but I don't think that they have the authority to require that, particularly since we're independent, even though we work for the same fire district, and she didn't respond to that.
And if that was just them or was it all committee?
I believe it was all committee meetings. It was the 15-minute prudential committee meeting that was held at the end of September, but Fran's on, she said, we are still trying to improve the system. That vote was just for prudential committee, not all committees.
Okay, well, thank you. Yep.
Yeah, and I think it's a great idea. I mean, if we can get more people involved, that's super.
I'm all for it, yeah.
And if it works better than nothing, then that's.
Yeah, I like the idea. I think people should still be able to come in live if they want to. But if we can make the system, so what, I mean, this looks better than when we were doing it in July, but.
Same equipment. I bring in my personal iPad. Those are iPads from the fire department. This is my personal laptop.
Oh.
We can't do anything audio wise.
Oh.
No, all comments need to be through chat.
Okay.
It's not very effective. And even when you listen to the audio, it echoes so badly in here, the audio on the meetings, when you listen back to the recording.
Right, I noticed that this summer, that's.
Yeah.
Came down late because like I said, I can't hear anything. Got it.
Is that a Zoom thing, or is that
I think
a facility?
I think it's the acoustics, it's just, there's no rugs in here, all the sound is just bouncing off the walls.
So my input is I have taught hybrid at both Tufts and Harvard. Harvard has spent huge money and it works perfectly. Tufts pretty well placed. Cannot make it work. They have problem after problem. So my thought is if they can't do it, I'm not optimistic. I mean, I don't mean to be critical. This really pull off seamlessly. So we've kind of concluded is, hybrid is the bottom, top is in person, second place is all online. That's kind of the way we decided to order stuff up there, because the hybrid stuff is difficult, rarely works. At Harvard, they have two guys full time in each classroom.
What?
Yeah, running it, one teacher and two techs. So you can spend the money.
We don't have Harvard money.
We do not.
Okay.
So I agree. I agree with Mark. I mean, it's great to do it, but unless we have technical, and frankly, Jen, you could probably do it if you have the time and energy, trust your skill set, but equipment too, right?
What about something different? May to October, we do live and no hybrid. And November to April, we do only on Zoom. So it's dark at night, people don't want to come out in the cold, it's snowing around, people falling. I mean, that might be a way to mix it up a little bit too.
Do we have the authority to make our own decision on this, or do we have to go with the decisions?
No, I think we have the authority. Mention that to Jen through the chat.
Said that vote was just for prudential committee, not all committees. So
Yeah.
I think we can set our own.
I like what Mark just said. I think that makes a lot of sense. Now we can consistent experience elsewhere. This is just a Zoom in the winter and then person in the spring, summer. Yeah.
And that way, we've got a lot of our residents too that are elsewhere during the winter months, and they could join through Zoom.
Yeah.
And I would guess that our best participation one time was during COVID, when we weren't in person, right?
It could be.
People logging in.
Yeah.
Well, also you have to heat this place in January and February.
Yeah.
I don't know, do they turn the heat on for us?
Oh, yeah.
We do. Yeah. It's on, we'll just turn it up and then come in if it's cold in here.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I like that idea.
What do you guys think, staff?
I have no problem with that one way or the other. I mean, in the winter, it's a lot easier for me to go home and set up in the other room.
Yeah.
Then come down here and, if we have, I don't know if it would help with, well, I guess they're still gonna be renting it out anyways, and have the shovel walks and stuff like that, but.
Well, as long as it's advertised, so people understand.
Right.
come down here at 5:30 on a February snowy night. Expect practice, yes.
We've been here now 3 months doing this. I don't think we've had anybody come in yet.
Right.
No.
We have more people on coming in through Zoom right now than anything.
We had Jim Danhauser was here once. And he helped us.
Yep.
Right.
Jen, is that you as well?
Yep.
That's fine with me. I mean, whatever works and get more participation from the villagers. I think that's.
When do we start?
Well, I mean, November would be a good time to go back to online.
And we've got the holiday
It's gonna be
season.
dark. I mean, we could daylight savings ending now, so. It's gonna be dark at 4:30. 5:30.
You see Fran has any comments on that?
Her comments were the water committee can do whatever they want as far as setting rules for the meeting. And she thinks part of the problem is that we're sitting too close together so that two microphones are picking up each other's speech.
Is there a state law that says that we have to now in person?
No, not that I know.
I think it's optional.
Something to me one time about that committees had to meet in person once a month. This was back 6 months ago.
I'm
before
doing
we started
with
meeting.
any town board.
Yeah.
Some very few meetings in person, most that I'm still online. My experience. What do you feeling the same? Or?
Except for the Arma Selectmen.
Oh, yeah, right.
They never did.
One town is Pembroke. The rest of them are all online.
So I
I think it's
under
under
state
state
law,
law, must be an option.
I think we should try it in case, and just if something comes up says we can't, then we can't. Right now, I think we all kind of agree would be good to go back to Zoom for the winter.
Fran noted that at the moment, the allowable Zoom-only meeting mandate by the state is still in force.
Okay.
Allowable. Well, let's do that then.
Yeah, so maybe next month start zooming again.
Zoom-only, okay.
Thank you.
I like that you aligned that with hockey season, Mark.
With hockey season.
November to April.
Hockey season,
Be
yeah.
home to watch the hockey game.
Okay, and that completes my report.
Okay. Old business. Source water protection plan.
So I can give us a quick update. We had a very yesterday, Bruce Young, now five students, had one additional join. And we're off and running. Chris and Jen did a great job giving them good starting package information. Jen gave me some hard tonight. They are coming here on Sunday at 1 o'clock. We're gonna meet at the water department office, just as a place to, if that's okay, and leave their car there maybe. Anybody wants to come and say hello, join us. We're gonna try to do a tour, probably for a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna have them back over to my house to talk a little bit. And so that'll be the field visit. And then they're gonna try to have their report ready by our meeting in December. And I'll have to tell them they'll be in Zoom now, so that's great.
Good for them.
Easy for them that time of year. So we'll get that day squared away. But the students are focused on different issues. One person is night shoes, others doing sodium, another one's doing contaminants of emerging concern. And the other one is a mapping GIS person who's going to basically take Tom's maps, digitize Camberry's maps, digitize them, do some overlays, and look at sources of pollution within those areas. And then Bruce is kind of running the show. He's agreed to be sort of in charge of it. I'm going to be sort of an advisor. So I think it's going to be good. I think they're all pretty fired up.
Be good to Bruce, don't burn him out, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's not charging us anything, he's just like young people.
That's right.
That's great.
Yep.
So I'm not familiar with this. I've heard his name.
Yeah, Bruce is from Northeast Road, he's actually like from North Roads. He
Okay.
lives way out in Western Mass. They help out, we belong to the association. They actually come out and leak detection for us. If we think we have a leak and we can't find it, they'll come down with some correlators and stuff like that to help us find leaks. They offer a bunch of free services to help out small water parts and everything. Or, you know, I say free, but we belong to the association too, but they also give us classes that are real cheap and stuff like that. They're a great organization.
Yeah.
It used to be combined all of New England. It used to be New England rural water, then everybody separates. Now you got Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Mass have their own.
So is he with Northeast Rural Water or Massachusetts?
Massachusetts
Rural
Water Association.
Okay, thanks.
Easy Google. You got a nice little page.
Nice. All right, anything else on the source water connection? Well, what time are you guys meeting over
1
there?
o'clock.
1 o'clock on
Yeah,
Sunday.
Going through the well field and stuff.
I guess we can go down Sampson Hill Road, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think we need. They did want to see Mr. Robinson to be all. They wanted to see that. We noticed on the map.
Yeah.
A lot of houses there.
Yeah. All the time. You can drive down there. No
You don't
problem.
need to get in. They want to get an idea of settings are and
Just make sure they go slow.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I let you know when people are speeding too much over there. And if they need to go in the other way, I mean, you can walk through there if you have to or anything like that. Or if you need, I might be able to let the guys like leave it unlocked and you can lock it up afterwards or something.
Which one?
For the Newtown Road to drive on.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that'd be great.
Because they'll be doing the checks.
Might be easier.
It's kind of a difficult lock and everything else, but just,
Okay.
if you make it look like it is, we'll be there in the morning anyways.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Great.
Heard the dirt bikes out there last weekend.
Last weekend?
Yeah,
I'll have to look on the cameras and see if they were in the sand pit going around.
yeah. I think it was Sunday. Definitely Sunday.
And I can tell you, just at the same time every morning, there's people that walk at the same time, with the same dogs, same dog drive by his dog. Yeah, I know who he is. And, you know, I can see everybody running down that road, everything. It's on my little camera, the little red dot, red line through there. You're not just, it's just.
No. No, we like to mix it up. We're hybrid.
He's got too much time on his hands over here.
Subcommittee updates. Bylaw, policy.
Mine hasn't, whichever one I want to policy.
And nothing on bylaws?
No.
The school subcommittee has met, and we're gonna have a brief, executive session on that, just so we can share some thoughts. And one thing that I can share right now is just a huge thank Commissioner Robinson for his work on the conservation restrictions for the district. That was very beneficial and it's helping the negotiation committee in major ways. So thank you so much for doing that. That's about all I can share with that. Rehab of 461 Main Street.
Yeah, we have not done any more right now down there. I believe Mark had said that,
Yeah, I was gonna get to AmeriCorps.
yeah, they were starting up again.
Yeah, they started up again, but I haven't submitted the application.
Okay.
I guess just what we should talk just a minute about it, make sure I'm on the same page again. We talked about just moving some seedlings in from the forest, maybe.
Yeah.
But would it be worth having services of a landscaper who knows how to plant things properly so that we're not just wasting our time? Maybe a little goose of fertilizer or something to get them going. I don't know. I have a brown thumb, so I don't know how to do that.
I can look in a little, back when we had the solar project going on, they put a couple of roads on those, the company that came through and replanted the roads and everything. I could kind of look into them and see if I could find the numbers of the people that did that and see if they could come down and look. And we don't need a ton in there, just something that's gonna grow and keep people from thinking of it.
I think, even just pitch pines, they're easy to transplant. I think they're shallow roots. But if there's some small huckleberries and things, just stuff that looks like the forest behind it.
That stuff will grow in eventually if you put
I
the
mean, we
trees.
do
in.
have conservation money in the budget, which we never seem to spend, but this might be a place to spend it. But AmeriCorps is the manpower. They don't know how to do anything until you tell them what you want done. Dig a hole, they'll dig a hole.
He was gonna be the last time. You know what, it's ready just yet. And so, well, I tried calling him and they were like disconnected at the time or something, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get that done before the next meeting, but, so what we're gonna sort of a consensus that if we have to spend a few $100s to have somebody give us some advice, or show up for the day, be a clerk of the works kind of thing. That might be useful. Because AmeriCorps, they will not go out there without supervision from the entity that is requesting them. So it's either your staff or we hire somebody. I'm not going to do it. So,
I mean, does it make sense to get a small piece of equipment?
Get your hard hat, you go out there and
Sherry.
tell,
of equipment.
you tell people what to do, no problem, right?
Sherry will take care of that.
Okay, go get Sherry.
Seedlings.
Oh, really? Okay.
Seedlings.
No office manager, she loves plants. She loves plants. Then we'll have all piles.
Right.
If we let her.
I could help as well. And I'm also wondering, I mean, you
Well,
drive
that's going to
around.
be during, it's going to be a work day, I mean, a weekday, because that's when they come.
Yeah,
Aren't you working?
usually. I do have some personal days that I could take.
All right.
I could
Well,
I could arrange to be there.
that's fine.
But I also wonder, like, Tuit Landscape might be interested, or somebody that's local
Yeah,
might
sure.
want to hang their little wooden sign, nice, very nice looking sign saying that they're going to.
Right, neighbor across the street.
Local
Person looking for work.
Yeah,
They're sponsoring that site, so I wonder how we would go about recruiting somebody to sponsor that.
Roger Scudder.
Roger Scudder would be perfect, Scudder Landscape.
He retired.
Everybody's so, yeah, Roger.
His son has the business. We had also,
Even better.
Right.
He just wants a day job.
we had also talked about something for fencing there. Is that something you still want to look at?
Keep people from driving. We're not having a problem with people driving in on the grass.
Okay.
There is a road there that has a water main down, and if anything, it's kind of tough to.
Maybe just see how the plantings go before we quarter the fence. That's a lot more work.
Natural fence.
We do need to get in there a little bit, even if we stuck a rock in there after everything's done, to keep people from driving and just enough so we can get into where the sample tap is.
So what, if we had to rest this, if it's Scott suggesting something like, I don't know, like a bobcat, or is that what you?
Yeah.
Get some kind of, something like that, a tree spade in there, something, go and pop a couple pitch pines out and put them in there. Something like that from some of the land, keep it back up.
Well, the bigger ones are going to be harder to transplant, right? Because you need more of the root and everything.
Yeah, it depends what size tree spade you use. They could actually go in and just come right down on them and go over, take a chunk out, put it in, put a couple cables on it and be fine. Just a matter of getting the right company like Harry Johnson or something like that in there to do it.
I wonder what our liability is with having somebody sponsor the site or adopt the site as a restoration project.
I wouldn't know, yeah, that's something that we have to ask like the town of Armstrong.
Because, yeah, they do that, right, with their islands, parklands.
I mean,
The other option is to hire a landscaper, put some arborvitae in there.
Not arborvitae.
Not arborvitae?
No arborvitae,
Not natural,
Oh.
not native.
not native.
Mark's not a fan, apparently.
I've got one in front of my house and they grow like.
They do, they grow
I
like
have
crazy.
5 of them in my house I'd like to be transplanted. I'm willing to donate. About 20 feet tall.
And they're easy to do.
Apparently.
Well,
I like your idea of trying to get
AmeriCorps
in there
keep
and
it
keep it
simple
simple
and
and
see how it works. It's a good project.
Okay. I can, I'll reach out to them and see how they, what liabilities they feel they have with anybody that adopts a piece of land. And if it doesn't seem like it's a problem, I could call Roger or his son, and I could call,
Jared.
Yeah. Yeah, I can call both, all those guys, see if they're interested.
I like it.
There you go.
All right, well, I'll submit the application next couple of weeks. And all we want them to do is dig holes and move stuff under supervision of either the chairman or licensed, not licensed, but just a professional landscaper.
Which might be nice.
Could also get council.
He knows how to do that pretty well. Probably
He does.
jumps in a second.
Yeah.
Where's he live?
It's in Centerville.
Centerville.
I could talk to him. Yeah. Let's start with Roger though and some of the local guys.
Okay,
See if they're interested.
I'll reach out. Check on liabilities and reach out. Anything else on that? Sodium recommendations.
I think it was just what I said before. I don't know.
I just think really something we've been talking about, really separated
Raw water,
versus
treated
raw. And I would encourage us, I don't think it's a lot of money to do the extra raw samples on a fairly regular basis.
Yeah, we haven't been doing the stations as much as just the blended samples right now.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know, we could increase the sodium, I mean, do sodium at the station raw and, you know, every couple months or something like that. I don't know if it'd be worth it to see if it's something that's, you know, consistent or not. We could try it for like 6 months, see what happens.
You just do around, right?
We just did the other season.
You're waiting.
Yeah, so we're waiting on the
On
results. I
Monday.
mean, I could say, hey, you know, get me 10 more bottles. And next month when we go out one day, you know, when we're doing it, we'll run them all and do it at the same time. Well, when we do the regular monthly samples, we're already there. To do 2 more won't be hard.
Yeah.
And they'll just be split up a little and by, you know, we'll be a month behind always getting the results, but that'll be fine.
Yeah, I would suggest either monthly or every other month through this winter. Because it'd be nice to have a good solid database of raw samples. The students can look at the first couple rounds, done in December. And there might be some indications this stuff shows up in the winter and spring more. But if we keep it going and set up a good graph so we can look at this each month, I think that would be really helpful.
So you had mentioned an NBC article about them lowering the recommended daily allowance to 3,000 milligrams. And I think that's why we added this to the agenda.
Not for sodium, though.
FDA, yeah.
So-
Oh, right, yes, that's right, the thing I sent around, but that's not, I don't think it's gonna change, it's federal, you understand it, though, is it? I don't think it said that, it's more of an advisory on just diet stuff, but this is part of it, sure.
I think that's why we added it.
Great.
All right.
Well, I have another new business, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
It's just something I've been thinking about. So I think what would be useful to put on the website is distillation, and really condensing down, for lack of a better term, frequently asked questions people have about their water. And, you know, I'd be happy to come up with the questions to you experts to answer questions. Things like, you know, where does my water come from? What's in my water? How do you treat it? You know, how do I know it's safe? You know, who's responsible for pipes in the house versus pipes outside? I mean, simple stuff that it's all in your head.
Yeah, and we do it with the consumer company.
No,
You know,
I don't want to hear
it's
about
always
that.
there.
I don't want to hear about that thing.
Right.
That thing is a mess. I know it's state mandated. Nobody can understand.
I know.
Okay? It is public information.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm just searching through to find the word it's safe. That's all. That's what I'm interested in.
Chairman, if Commissioner Rogers
Grab the question relatively soon, I can put this in front of the student group.
it might be a pretty good opportunity for them to draft some of this.
Well, I remember when we had the consultant, Taylor and Howard, doing the rate increase cost study. They had a lot of good introductory stuff about the system. You know, we have 5 wells, we have 2 tanks, we have this many miles of pipes, we have this many employees. I mean, we have a budget of X, we have, you know, revenues of Y. So just simple stuff that, you know, just on the website. And frankly, when you get all this Facebook chatter, you know, oh, my water tank's terrible today, you know, and then some people say, well, it does, I've been running for years, I drink it all the time. it'd be nice to be able to have a single source of information that you could point them to
That's a
say,
good idea.
this is what's tested for. There were no exceeding limits. It might even say, why do we test for magnitudes, right?
Yeah, that's a good
It's not a
idea.
health thing, but it's a aesthetic thing. This CCR thing does nothing for me. It does absolutely nothing. And I know DEP says we have to do it. And everybody in the whole sets up the same thing with the same crappy format. But I would like to have people.
I work hard on that crappy format.
I know, and you have to.
Recommendations to make that better and easier. I'm open to those. But
Well,
Pete,
no, but
I'm
it
just-
looks like the ones from the other districts. They all look the same.
Some do it in newsletter format, sometimes.
But I mean, they give their results, but they don't really say, what does this mean? Doesn't say what does this mean very well.
So Pete Emerson is working on a revamp of the website.
that he came and gave us a demo a few weeks ago. There'll be like a whole slideshow thing on there. We went back and forth on where and how we're able to post the payment link and that kind of thing. We can certainly do an FAQ that goes on, the water department slide that's a more readable format than the CCR. So once we have text together, we'll get it to be posted.
Is it, I know it's been difficult for this staff to be able to change the website.
Correct.
It has to be done by a third party.
Some we can't. Yeah.
So we'll never have that real control of it.
So Pete has worked on building it with some members of the district who are helping him for free to do that. So he is good with the design phase of it. If we have something we want to post in there, he'll help us post it.
Good. Well, anyway, I think it's something I'd like to develop in the next few months with you all on this, so the students can help you do some of the research. That's great.
Yeah, like I said, if we can get some of the questions.
Yeah, well, I don't have to be the only one coming up.
No, I
I mean, just think of, somebody moves in to get to it. They turn on the tap and they start thinking about, where is this coming? What is it? Is this just, real basic stuff for people?
How often is it tested?
Yeah. Yeah.
I get that question quite frequently.
Why are my rates so high?
Right?
Well, I wasn't. Would it make, do you want to, would you be willing to send an email to us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to get it going, that'd be great.
I'll start it this week.
Okay, fantastic. And I just sent an email to the students to put this on their list, so we'll talk about it on Sunday.
Super.
If you want, I can set up a document in the shared folder and send you a link, and that way all three of you can add to the same document, and then you're not circulating anything outside of the meeting.
I think it's a good idea.
We can add to it over time and, revise it as more information comes in about PFAS, for instance. Just to get something going.
Along those lines, the map on the website that shows where all the wells are, I can't remember. It's pretty easy to find. That might be.
No, but I'm sure it's in the Taylor Howard report.
Yeah, maybe we could post a map.
We have a nice map out in the back here on the poster board.
Right, I should have brought that out.
That's okay.
Coming up soon.
But
Yeah.
From a security standpoint, is that something we want to publicize? Where our well sources are?
It's a good point. Maybe not.
I thought we were advised against that at one point, but I don't remember. In our ERP, maybe.
Maybe that's what it was.
I suppose the people that want to do us harm would figure it out easily from a real photograph, but, yeah. So we're living on that right, John. It's true.
All right, any additional discussion on that? I think that's a great idea, Mr. Robinson. Thank you again for your thoughtfulness. Any additional public comment at this point?
Nothing new on chat, but I'll let you know if I see anything in a minute.
And our next meeting we're going to do is a Zoom. So let's take a look. Is that third calendar?
No, week before, the 17th would be the 3rd. That one's pretty good.
you were in the 17th?
Yeah.
Okay.
And since it's Zoom, do you want 5:30 or 5:45?
5:30 is fine.
5:30 is
And
good.
then could we also, I think we talked about this before, but can we also just look at the December dates, just so I can get the students locked in? You may have done that.
We did come up with a
15th
maybe.
15th would be the third Wednesday, and that's, I think that's far enough in advance.
I had that written down.
12/8 is what you said would be preferable.
It might be, would that be okay with it? Yeah, because I think they are gone pretty quickly after.
Yeah.
So we can have that in my calendar, but that.
We'll just add that the Leonid meteor shower should be at peak around the 17th of November. Should be nice for those of us zooming. We can step outside.
Okay, for the
The
8th.
8th for December.
That'd be great. Plan on that.
You say for November?
17th.
November 17th. Yep. Good. Thank you.
And the 8th December. And those will both be Zooms. Okay, any other additional public comment? Are we all set? Check the chat, right?
All
No
quiet in
question.
the chat.
And then I guess we should log off and go into
We have to,
executive session.
do we have to close this?
You have to vote to go into executive
Yeah, we have
session.
to, close.
Okay.
You have to have a motion.
We
to
will
close
not be
this.
returning.
Let's finish this meeting. We'll close this meeting. Take a motion to
Make a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
And to go into,
Second.
yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Now,
Shut these down.
You have to make a motion to go into executive session in
Right.
public session.
in public session, we'll make.
Okay.
So we're not quite done. So we'll make entertain a motion.
I'll move that we are now going to go into the executive session to discuss school project.
Second.
All in favor?
Now you have to do a voice vote. I mean, a roll call.
Roll call.
For purpose 6, you have to say.
Purpose 6, we'll do a
You can tell
roll
me to do
call.
this very
Often.
Right. Commissioner Horsley.
Horsley, aye.
Robinson, aye.
Commissioner Hoppenstedt, aye. So
We are now in executive
we are
session.
in
and will not be
executive
returning to
session.
public session.
Correct.
Thank you.
So we shut these down?